Hey, good evening, ladies and gentlemen. This is the author Andrew Snorton, and you are joining me live for the Fast 15, which is our weekly chat that we do on Wednesdays. In general, right now, the first and third Wednesday of the month, we will generally do it during the day, a little bit after 1 o'clock Eastern Standard Time. And the second and fourth Wednesday of the month, we will do it a little bit later at about 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, just because of some other moving parts that happen on the second and fourth Wednesday, which will be ending in about a month. So I thank you guys for bearing with me. To stay connected, make sure to add me on Facebook on the page Author Andrew Snorton. On Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube, you may add me at Author A Snorton. And when you add me on Instagram, make sure to click on the link in the bio so that way you'll be able to pull my press and media information. So my press and media kit are there. Archival interviews I've done with some great outlets and people are on there, and you can continue to navigate through the site so you can find out all about the books, the audio books, the merch, and the Author Andrew Snorton blend, which is the medium roast coffee. If you have any questions, whether it's for festivals, speaking engagements, things along those lines, you may email me at authorsnorton@gmail.com. So I thank you guys for taking a little bit of time out of your day to join me. And as we always do, at the beginning of each chat, we always want to send a word of encouragement out. And I know for me personally, today as well as last Wednesday, there were some major bumps in the road. So I want to send a word of prayer, encouragement, condolences for the family, friends, and loved ones of Ms. Elena Mastriani. She was actually my second and third grade teacher who really instilled not only the skill sets, but a love for reading, writing, and things along those lines. And even before her passing, she would take time to shoot me a message. So definitely, posthumous thanks to Ms. Elena Mastriani, who was definitely a key part of my educational experience as a youngster. And then earlier today, for those of us who are members of our Divine Nine, which are our Black fraternities and sororities, Rick Dubose, a member of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity, initiated through the chapter at Morehouse College, was a member of the Lawrenceville Duluth chapter in Georgia, was someone who actually volunteered with our nonprofit many moons ago, and just was, very engaging, sharp-minded, welcoming person. His presence will be missed, so we extend prayers and condolences to his family, friends, loved ones, and our noble Greeks of Kappa Alpha Psi fraternity. So shouts to them. And for anyone that's going through something, we know that some people have been transitioning. Some people are going through, physical health challenges, mental health challenges, emotional challenges, things along those lines. There are people who are working through some serious issues. We want to send a word of encouragement out to you. Yes, you have every right to feel some kind of way, but the bigger right you have is to get the help that you need, professionally or otherwise, because there are people who are rooting for you to pull through. Don't believe that nonsense that nobody cares. No, there's somebody that cares. So please get the help that you need. By the same token, for people who are experiencing success, whether you cook something and you didn't burn it, or your team won a game, or that hurdle that took you a little bit longer than anticipated, you finally cleared. Definitely want to send congratulations to you. You know what you had to work through in order to get to where you are. So you have every right to celebrate. Celebrate responsibly, but not overly the top. And let's not forget our peers who might be, going through something, because that might have been us, and that could be us, because we know how things can change. So before we get into our topic for today, I want to give a shout to Noble Greek and a good guy right here, Kung Fu Kenny 1914. This is a gentleman doing some amazing work through the lens of family, through the lens of what he does professionally, what he does community-wise, elevation within the work that he does, not only through 100 Black Men, of North Metro Atlanta, but through his fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma, who recently celebrated their Founders Day. So shouts to Kung Fu Kenny 1914, his family, friends, loved ones, and his fraternity brothers of Phi Beta Sigma. So the topic that we're going to pull from today, I think it's timely, from 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. This is my second book. And as a refresher, this is interview-based, where I was able to interview people across the lenses of Christianity, Hinduism, and Islam, in addition to identifying what their biggest daily challenge is. They opened up through how the lens of their faith, best practices in health and wellness, the use of their support network, and how they've changed their way of thinking, that they still have positive and powerful lives. So I think, given recent events with colleagues of mine, and like I said, people that might be going through something, that I think this is pretty timely. And the chapter I'm going to read from is going to be the 3rd chapter of 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1, and what have you. So I'm going to read this portion and kind of break it down to see what will probably speak to some people. And this is really timely in regards to assignment. We hear that all the time, mission, purpose, blah, blah, blah. But here's something I think might speak to some people. So here it goes. If this is my assignment and I don't do my part, I am delaying someone's blessing and deliverance. And this is based on my understanding of being a steward and a vessel. I could hurt my clients, which in this case, the kids I work with, the parents, schools, and others, along with my employees and their respective situations and standing, she adds, with a tone of understanding, responsibility, yet clarity in knowing this is what comes with the territory of her larger calling. So even though this is a quote from a colleague of mine who has her own business, doing some amazing educational services, here's something that I think is not only just in working in education, but anybody doing whatever business or whatnot. And I want to run this back again. If this is my assignment, meaning whatever your vocation, your charge, if this is who you're supposed to be, and I don't do my part, I am delaying someone's blessing and deliverance. So think about that. The longer it takes us, it can create some problems. And I've said this before, even in my most recent book, there's somebody that is waiting on you. They're waiting on you to provide that business service. They're waiting on you to provide that encouraging word. They're waiting on you to provide them that opportunity so they can grow. So if that is your calling, if that is your charge, if that is where you get your growth, fulfillment, what have you, take it seriously and don't leave other people waiting. Even one of the people who just joined, Latasha Lee, doing some amazing work with the tax services. And here's someone who is growing exponentially. And I guarantee that she is committed to doing her part. We already talked about Kung Fu Kenny 1914 doing his part. So do your part and take it seriously and consistently, because there's someone who's waiting on you, who needs you. So again, that's just a quote in regards to just general understanding of things. And it's taken from the second book that I wrote, 9 Stories of Faith, Volume 1. So a couple of quick announcements as we take this, brief 10 to 15 minute time to kind of pause and check up and check in. A couple of real quick announcements on my end. Next book signing that I will do will be on Saturday, January 21st from 2 to 5 p.m. Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. Shouts to Marcus Williams, who has been a great support for me, having done book signings there before, but for other authors. So make sure to circle your calendars. Drop in, say, hey, get a copy. But even if not, just come and just say hello. So that'll be January 21st, 2 to 5 p.m., Nubian Bookstore in Morrow, Georgia. A few other things are coming up. This weekend is a holiday weekend. It's the Martin Luther King Jr. holiday. His birthday is actually January 15th, but January 16th is the actual holiday. As best as possible, try to do some type of service and outreach. I know holidays are what they are. We try to catch up on rest, get out of town, and don't get me wrong, those things are important too, but try as best as possible to identify some type of service, community service or outreach program to help somebody. And not only just on that day, but as best as possible. And let people know that service and stewardship are still alive. On our Greek letter end, as I noted before, belated Founders Day to the men of Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, which was on January the 9th. January 5th, belated happy Founders Day greetings to members of Kappa Alpha Psi Fraternity Incorporated. This weekend is a big weekend because it's like everybody, it's like dominoes, everybody, boom, 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 boom. So advance happy Founders Day greetings to members of Delta Sigma Theta Sorority Incorporated on January 13th. January 15th, happy Founders Day to members of Alpha Kappa Alpha Sorority Incorporated. And on January 16th, happy Founders Day greetings to members of Zeta Phi Beta Sorority Incorporated. I'd like to still give thanks and shouts to my team at Status Network during my break. They've been very kind, encouraging, and supportive. And let me see, before I forget, shouts to Fonte's Coffee, my partner for the Author Andrew Snorton blend. Right now, you can just get it online, but we'll gradually be rolling it out. So if you're a coffee lover, medium roast coffee, it's good. Not only because I said so, but because other people have. So you can find out more about that by visiting fontescoffee.com and scrolling down to special selections. Click on the image with my headshot, and you can not only order your coffee, but they are also an authorized bookseller. And I want to say thank you to each and every bookstore, book festival, special event, individual who has been supportive. As 6 years ago next month is when I dropped my first book. So many thanks. I wouldn't be here without your support. So please know that I do not take that lightly. And again, for people that jumped on Latasha Lee, you are welcome. Please connect with her. Tax season, solid, and then some. So please make sure to connect with her. Shouts to Kung Fu Kenny 1914, again, for not only the great work he's doing professionally, but through the lens of his fraternity, Phi Beta Sigma Fraternity Incorporated, as well as 100 Black Men of North Metro Atlanta. So as we get ready to wind down, again, the second and fourth Wednesday, we'll hop on at a little bit after 10 Eastern Time. Take about 15 minutes, pause, check up, check in. Enjoy a short reading, a couple of announcements, and an encouraging note. The first and third Wednesday will be on during the day at a little bit after 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. To stay connected with me, make sure to add me on Facebook on the page Author. Spell it out, please. AUTHOR. Author Andrew Snorton on Facebook. Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Author A. Snorton. You may email me at authorasnorton@gmail.com. For any questions, inquiries, things along those lines. And I would encourage that if you're not on the newsletter, please make sure we have a couple of nice little things on there. And we've got a campaign that will be rolling out shortly. And thank you to Emery Rose Photography for joining. Bess and Gwinnett for 4 years in a row. Amazing photographer. Hey, hit her up. Seriously, she's that good. Really, she's that good. So please make sure to, and any of these folks that hop on, please, ladies and gentlemen, don't just nod your head, yeah, whatever. Please check them out. Check out the work they're doing. Because like I said before, someone might be waiting on them. You might be the person that might be in need for these people for different things. So let's do what we can to stay connected and stay encouraged. So on that note, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to get ready and wind down. We will be back next Wednesday, a little bit after 1 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And to catch up on any of the archival pieces, like I said before, on YouTube, go to the playlist. And, I guess that's really about it. So again, I hope everyone is having a good day, a good week. Hopefully you're having a good evening to get ready to wind down. We pray and trust that you have a very good rest of the week. Be of good health, be of good cheer, be encouraging, because we know there's people out there who need encouragement. And as I've said before, and I'll say it again, whether small or big, a victory is a victory. Whether slow or swift, movement is movement. Keep it victorious and keep it moving. Take good care. I look forward to seeing you guys real soon.